Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clark on YouTube. Oh no! As the sun sets on this beautiful evening, I want to let you guys in on a little secret. When you have strawberries with tea in the nighttime, it takes everything off of your mind and helps you relax. So if you ever have the opportunity to have strawberries with tea in the nighttime, go for it. I also want to say thank you to everybody who ever subscribed to this YouTube channel who has been giving me an unbelievable amount of views, because you guys could be anywhere else on YouTube tonight watching anybody else's Descendants and Zombies content and videos, but you are here on this YouTube channel because you took a chance on me when you didn't have to. And I want to tell you guys something that means more to me than any of you could ever possibly imagine. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, I want to tell you that every single time somebody hits the subscribe button, it gets me really excited. I love to see the subscribers going up on this YouTube channel because I know that there are Descendants and Zombies fans out there that do exist, that believe zombies are real, and that believe that happily forever after does exist. And I don't see anything wrong with that. If you are somebody that believes that happily ever after does exist, more power to you. Because there are a lot of critics out there that will tell you that happily ever after does not exist and zombies are not real. But I think it's really cool when a person believes that happily ever after exists and that zombies are real, because you only have one life to live. So if you only have one chance to make what you want to have count in this life, if it's zombies are real or that happily ever after exists, I don't ever want to take that away from you. While there are critics out there on YouTube uploading their videos that are very inappropriate, that are very disastrous about Descendants and Zombies in the way of constructive criticism, or so they say, I don't think there's any room for any criticism to be thrown the way of Descendants and Zombies. You know, years ago, when Descendants first premiered, I fell in love with the franchise. And I share in the same passion or passions when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, just as much as each and every one of you have proudly said that you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies or share in either of those passions. I even have dance studios now subscribing to this YouTube channel, which is a tremendous honor of mine to have achieved on this YouTube channel, because I never thought in a million years, in all the years that I've been podcasting, that I would be reaching so many people that are so dedicated to their passions and what they love out of life and what they want to get out of life. It blows my mind every single time. You guys are some of the most passionate, some of the most devoted, and some of the most never say die people in the world. And because of your passions, that's why Descendants and Zombies have seen so many chapters rewritten time and time again, why we have seen an expansion on the franchises, why we could see a TV series for Descendants. I'm up for that. And why we have seen over 10 million people on social media platforms across the internet subscribing to Descendants or Zombies, either that you choose, sometimes both. We're seeing this crossover now with Descendants and Zombies, the Worlds Collide Tour, kicking off in July. 43 arena dates announced, and I'm really excited, kicking off in San Diego for some of the press that we're going to be seeing coming out as the tour gets closer. The premiere of the Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires movie gets closer on Disney Plus and Disney Channel. Of course, the global premiere happening 24 hours after the premiere on Disney Channel. I'm still putting it out there that I think I would make a cool vampire slayer. I'm hoping that a lot of you guys are going to think I'm really nice and think I'm really cool and take a chance on me and hit my subscribe button, because I will not let you down in the Zombies 5 movie that will probably come out after Dawn of the Vampires, because they've already got this one shot in New Zealand. I would have been up for going to New Zealand and, co-starring in this movie alongside Meg Donnelly, because I had a thing for vampire slaying years ago. I was always a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If there was one thing that I wanted to do in life, Mona the Vampire 2, for fans of Nickelodeon out there, really big fan of that show. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Goosebumps, I've seen it all. So I'm down for being a vampire slayer, because if there was one thing that I wanted to do in Hollywood was be a vampire slayer for a live-action TV series or movie. I would love to co-star alongside Meg Donnelly, who I'm a huge fan of, and be a vampire slayer trying to save Zed from the clutches of this new kung fu panda fighting vampire chick, and probably ran into Dracula in the woods and said, "Holy shit, Meg, it's Dracula. I'm sorry, Dracula, but I have a attention deficit disorder going on here, and I left my autograph book behind." I would have been like, "Holy shit, it's Dracula." I would have loved to have done that, because I've had a habit of walking through the woods in the nighttime. And you don't know how scary that is until you actually do it. There's actually a woods behind my house, and if you ever get lost in it, there's no way you're ever finding your way out of it. But I've always had this thing about me living in a house or a cottage that's actually positioned behind a woods or in front of a woods. And there's been many a nights that I've actually gone into the woods and tried to hunt vampires or be abducted by aliens, and I never succeeded at doing it, but I would love the opportunity to do it. So if you could hit the subscribe button and make that happen, and make this encounter with Dracula, which I wanted to have happen ever since, at least, I don't know, 1995, that would be kind of cool. I remember reading the Dracula book in high school. They're making a new Dracula movie in France this year. Paris! Shout out to you guys. I don't know. But do you guys ever notice that all this spooky stuff always happens in Pennsylvania? Big shout out to you guys too. When I run for President of the United States, I'm hoping to win the majority of the votes in the state of Pennsylvania. According to what you guys have been throwing up on my YouTube channel, hitting the like button so many times when I'm saying I was running for President of the United States because of Kylie Control's political views and not being a Trump supporter, I kind of wanted to be President of the United States more than I ever had, because that was a conversation years ago that people wanted me to run for President of the United States. Either that or being on somebody's zombie apocalypse fighting team alongside Dwayne Johnson or something. But years ago, the joke was I'd run for President of the United States. And then when I heard Kylie Control online a couple of days ago on a TikTok video she had posted about not being a Donald Trump supporter and explaining her political point of view to everybody, my heart was broken. I'm going to be honest with you. Kylie Control is one of the most successful actresses in the world. Say what you want about Kylie Control, but she is beautiful. She is undeniably gorgeous. She is somebody who does not need to go on social media and explain her political points of view to people who have criticized her. Now, I know Kylie Control is not the only celebrity. Ruby Rose Turner and Dove Cameron have been victims of criticism for forever. And I know that because I've been following Dove Cameron on social media forever. Ever since I could remember, I was the biggest Dove Cameron fan ever since at least 2013. I broke my arm one night on the way home trying to catch the latest episode of Living Natty. That's a story that I've often repeated on this YouTube channel because I can't even believe myself that I did it. It was a really messed up situation. It was like, Doc, I think my arm is really screwed up. He told me I was going to be fine. He did emergency surgery and told me to go home and watch Disney Channel. And I've been doing it ever since. I've been in good health ever since. But I've gone above and beyond for these Disney stars. So if anyone out there has any issues with Kylie Control's political point of view, I just want to put it out there that I will run for President of the United States. The Descendants and Zombie stars can be part of the inauguration. And I will make Disney Channel mandatory to have for all families who are living in America. If you're outside the States, we'll work something out too. That's why I was kind of hoping that Donald Trump's latest announcement was going to be that he was going to be making Canada the 51st state in the United States, because I live in Canada, and then it will be legal for me to run for President of the United States and make this stuff happen. I could be in the Zombies movies, I could be in the Descendants movies. If not that, a narrator for the Descendants franchise. I would love to have done that. But I think that these stars have seen their fair share of criticism, and I just want to let you guys know that if you want to hear something nice about Descendants and Zombies, you have come to the right place. Keep it locked on this YouTube channel because you will hear nothing but good things in the way of reviews and constructive criticism about Descendants and Zombies, because there is some stuff in that movie that can be criticized, but I think that even though there's stuff in that movie that can be criticized, you guys deserve better. And I came to that conclusion when I saw people immediately jumping to criticism about the Place to Be music video for the Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires movie, which hasn't even premiered yet. This franchise has yet to see this movie premiere, and already people are criticizing it. Again, as I said here earlier, there is no room for criticism for something we haven't even seen yet. Let's give it time, and let's give it a chance. Let's see where we go with the introduction of vampires. I have experience attempting at least to hunt vampires, although I may have never succeeded. I don't know if there's a vampire watching this show, but if there is, I'm coming for you. But the thing is, I want to take a chance on these mysterious groups making the premiere, and let's see what kind of expansions can be offered up in the way of Zombies 5, because I've heard the critics also say that, by the way, if there's a vampire watching, I'm coming for you. I've heard critics say that, we were running out of supernatural creatures to have in these movies. I don't think that's true, and I don't think anybody should believe that. If you believe anything, believe that there's always another opportunity to tell another part of the story, because the story has never reached its conclusion, no matter how many times it's been thrown in our faces that franchises like Descendants and Zombies should say goodbye. I'm saying it because I love Descendants and Zombies, and I don't ever want to see it end. If Zombies can have an animated series, so can Descendants. Or Descendants can have a series in the way of High School Musical, the series. You know, High School Musical, I understand how it was one of the most revered franchises in Disney's history, and if not for the success of it, every other Disney Channel TV series or movie probably would have faded off into obscurity. Let's face it, they would have faded off into obscurity because Jonathan Clark is not signed on as a Disney star. Forget about that, though. The thing is, I think that we can see this happen for Descendants because of the popularity of it. I mean, look at the merchandise, look at the Halloween costumes, the dolls. They have done a fantastic job. And I give the producers of Descendants, the writers of Descendants, the toy makers of Descendants, everybody at Disney Channel and Disney Plus a tremendous amount of credit, because we remember how The Rise of Red immediately premiered on Disney Plus for those of you who were fortunate enough to have a subscription. Again, going back to how if you hit the subscribe button, I will make Disney Plus mandatory in homes across America and probably other parts of the world if their representatives will work with me on it. Along with everything else that I'm going to do. Have the Descendants and Zombie stars be a part of the inauguration. We'll talk about it. And I want to say this too. Let Dove Cameron say that she's not going to be a part of Descendants. Let her say that for forever and a day. Let her take her ball and go home. Because we have Kylie Cantrell, we have Ruby Rose Turner, we have Mila Baker to make it happen for all of us, and we have new stars to believe in. As much as we all have believed in Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, I support that because they are beautiful souls, don't get me wrong. But I think that we have seen a fair share of criticism for a new franchise, a spin-off I'll call it, that I don't think we need to be seeing. You know, we're hearing about how Kylie Cantrell is not a Dove Cameron. We're hearing about how Sophia Carson can be compared to Kylie Cantrell, and how Kylie Cantrell is having herself described as a mirror image of Dove Cameron. You know, let it be what it is. Let us see where we go from here. We're seeing the introduction of, stars representing the Princess and the Frog. We're seeing stars representing Robin Hood now. Again, going back to how I was mentioning about how folk literature can tie in significantly to characters that you've sometimes forgotten about. There are also the chances of seeing gremlins and trolls make their appearance. Who out there wasn't a fan of trolls when they were growing up? I had the blue troll. He was always my favorite. I always wanted to be a troll, and Justin Timberlake beat me to it because of that song, Can't Stop the Feeling. And there are many a times that you can hear me singing that song in the shower. Just don't tell anybody that. Yeah, I've always had dreams of wanting to be an actor, probably because I had a lot to do with theater when I was in high school. I was always the guy that was always a part of theater productions like Phantom of the Opera. Every time we'd have a Halloween production over the years, we'd do Dracula and stuff, so I was pretty into that kind of stuff. And of course, there was one night where I fell down through the stage doing the special effects with the smoke machine for Phantom of the Opera. And the funny thing was I wasn't starring in it as the Phantom of the Opera, but for some reason I became the Phantom of the Opera that night because of what actually literally happened to me that wasn't scripted. Man, that night the ambulance was called. It wasn't good. Oh yeah, big fan of this stuff, and I will forever and always be a fan of this stuff. So hopefully you guys think this YouTube channel is cool and you will take a chance on me and you will hit the subscribe button. I don't want to take anything away from Mila Baker. She is a beautiful actress. I remember watching her on the Are You Afraid of the Dark reboot, I do believe, in 2022. They shot that during the pandemic. They also shot Descendants during the pandemic, which I can never give these stars enough credit for. I can never give the stars of Zombies enough credit for either because they shot a lot of the scenes in the nighttime in Toronto. Toronto is a beautiful city, by the way. If you ever have the opportunity to go to Toronto, take yourself up on that opportunity. Beautiful people in Toronto, beautiful people in New Zealand where they relocated to shoot Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, beautiful scenery, and that from what we got from the trailers. But New Zealand is a beautiful place. I interviewed Outback Jack, an old wrestler from the 1980s who came to America from Australia aspiring to be a professional wrestler from New Zealand when I was a podcaster for pro wrestling years ago. He was one of many people from New Zealand that were beautiful people that I had the opportunity to meet over the years. And I think that they definitely accommodated Zombies beautifully, and the scenery is just amazing. And you're saying to yourself, Outback Jack hasn't wrestled since 1989. I know! It wasn't yesterday. I called Outback Jack. Probably should take myself up on the opportunity. Maybe I should make a mental note to call Outback Jack and see how he's doing. But besides that, I think that, this is going to be a whole lot of fun for a lot of people. I just wish these critics would back off of, throwing it in our faces. They are always reminding us of what Descendants was, what Descendants could amount to be. I hate criticism. I don't mind constructive criticism, but I hate criticism because I'll say this. You guys deserve better. You guys deserve so much better because I know how much Descendants and Zombies means to each and every one of you. You know, one day I woke up, I was looking out through my window, I had a cup of tea, and I was thinking to myself as the sun was coming up, because I'm an early riser. I'm like one of those guys that gets up every morning at 5 a.m. Woohoo! And I have nothing to do. So one morning when I woke up, looked out through my window having a cup of tea and said, woohoo! 5 a.m. I thought to myself, maybe because I have nothing else to do, I'll make a bunch of Descendants videos and throw them up on my YouTube channel. Throw a little bit of Zombies conversation in while I'm at it. And I woke up one morning with 1,000 views on my videos and I said, oh my God, this can't be real. Threw up another Descendants video, another 1,000 views. Year and a half later, after I relaunched my podcast in 2024, after I thought I was done in 2018, I got almost 2,000 subscribers. Oh my God. My date with Dracula could be becoming more realistic than ever before because of you guys. You know, things that I've always dreamed about doing and aspired to be. President of the United States. Meeting Dracula, getting his autograph. Co-starring alongside Meg Donnelly as a vampire slayer. You guys can make all this happen. You guys got to tell Meg Donnelly at these Zombies Descendants conventions or at the Worlds Collide tour that Jonathan Clark is ready to go. You know, use your iPhone, show her the videos, and she might say, this dude is really, into what he believes. So I'll give him a chance to be a vampire slayer because she's the producer of this stuff, and she can make it happen. So there are only two people in this world that can make that happen. My dream of going to Hollywood can only be made possible by either you guys, who are huge fans of Descendants of Zombies, or Meg Donnelly. So you guys are the only ones who can get me out of this situation. Check it out. Meg Donnelly's favorite color, orange. Reciprocal lights. Representing. Funny thing is, Meg Donnelly's always joked about wanting to live in Canada. I live in Canada. We can work something out, Meg. And we can make my dream come true of being a vampire slayer. Because there's just something about vampires and zombies coming at you from all directions that looks absolutely amazing. I would love the opportunity to do it. And just so you guys know, on my vampire slaying team, I would have, if we were ever faced with a vampire or zombie invasion, the people I would want on my zombie apocalypse team would be, of course, myself, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Stitch. And you're saying to yourself, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Yeah, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Stitch. There's just something about Stitch that looks really cool. Come to think of it, I got to book my tickets to the advanced screening of Lilo and Stitch I'm going to this week. I got to put that in my Google reminders because I was always a big fan of Lilo and Stitch. But yeah, on my zombie apocalyptic team to survive, I would have myself, Dwayne Johnson, Stitch, and Meg Donnelly because she's just crazy and cool. And I want crazy and cool on my zombie fighting team. There's just something about it that I would go for. Oh my. Guys, I've had the most fun in my life doing these videos for each and every one of you. And I hope that you've had just as much fun watching these videos because there's no other place in the world I would rather be than right here with each and every one of you. So I found this video featuring Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker discussing their favorite songs from, I believe, the Descendants franchise. I've been meaning to show it to you guys, so I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to put it out there. To anyone who ever believed in the Descendants and Zombies franchise, more power to you guys. Because I think that you guys are the most loyal, most respectful fans that anyone could ever ask for in this world. I know there are a lot of critics on YouTube who love to review this and throw constructive criticism the way of a franchise such as Descendants or Zombies, telling you that we're running out of supernatural creatures for the Zombies franchise. They've told a story and they've completed it. We've heard that out of the own mouth of Dove Cameron. But even though we've heard it out of her own mouth, and we've heard it out of the mouths of a lot of people who love to throw constructive criticism the way of Descendants, I know because I've seen it. You guys are some of the best fans in the world, and you mean the world to me. So I have 1,677 subscribers right now, and I would love a million, but I know that's virtually impossible because everybody that watches this video at least once would have to go out of your way to hit the subscribe button. The choice is yours to hit the subscribe button, and I'll be honest with each and every one of you, it is extremely difficult as a YouTube creator to get somebody to hit your subscribe button, more challenging than a lot of creators out there choose to admit. But I know that I have the best fans in the world, so if I don't get any more subscribers and I stay at 1,600 plus subscribers on this YouTube channel, I'm fine with that. But I would love to have more and more of you subscribe to this YouTube channel because there are over 10 million social media fans of Descendants and Zombies out there across all social media platforms who can get me out of this situation by hitting the subscribe button. Come to think of it, it's getting really dark and spooky out, and I have to go on vampire shift tonight. And that's not easy. The graveyard shift is coming up, and I am not prepared tonight. I'm dressed in black, ready to go. Like a lot of these guys in vampire slaying shows on TV have. They're not the only ones. Damon Salvatore, Zed from Zombies. I mean, you guys, you've had it going on for years, but, I'm coming right behind you. Because I got a lot of fans out there who love Jonathan Clark videos, who are going to get me in as the new vampire slayer. Meg Donnelly's possible new love interest in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. Let Zed take that Kung Fu Panda fighting chick and go home. Me and Meg Donnelly would make an awesome tag team. Probably future WWE tag team champions because Meg Donnelly is crazy. See what I did there? Put the Z in crazy. But yeah, big fan of Descendants and Zombies. So let's get to this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting this YouTube channel. I can't thank you enough for your love and support. I will have a lot to say where Descendants and Zombies goes. Of course, coming up this summer with the Worlds Collide Tour, the premiere of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, and Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. In case you guys didn't see the teaser trailer that was dropped, I've showed it countless times on this YouTube channel, but it's coming out apparently in summer 2026, although that has to be confirmed. It has not been officially announced from Disney, but as it gets closer, I'll have more info and more to say where that goes. But let's watch this video together, and if you do anything, hit the subscribe button and drink tea in the nighttime.
Enemies seasick, can't see straight.
Seasick, can't see straight. And then like fish bait. And then, oh, that's from What's My Name? That's Harry's verse.
Oh my gosh, look at
That's
you.
Harry's verse.
You
I gotta know my
good at this.
stuff.
I knew you'd be good at this too.
Because also I was on the What's My Name Red remix.
She's prepped.
Don't call him fish bait. Throw him on a hook. Got him all shook or something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Kylie.
Well, I also sang that in the
I know.
Descendants remix party, and I did that verse.
Just a little subtle drop
so-
there. I also sang that.
I also sang that when I was in that, and I was 14. And
No, I remember watching that though.
really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I see clips from that, and I'm like, who is that? Like, I looked 10 years old.
You were a baby.
I was very baby.
Yeah.
The stars of Descendants, the Rise of Red franchise, let me just say this, look like they are having the time of their lives. They are looking like people who are on their way to the masquerade ball. And I support that, and I love that about them. They look like they're having the time of their life, and I would love to go to the masquerade ball with each and every one of them. Because you guys are the best fans in the world. I have never seen fans support a franchise in the way that you guys have supported Descendants and Zombies, and I hope you keep doing it forever and a day. Because you are the best fans that anybody out there in the way of a critic on YouTube could ever ask for. Which is why I believe there is no room for criticizing a franchise like Descendants or Zombies. Let's give a chance to this franchise and see where these two franchises take us, because the possibilities are endless and the sky is the limit. All you have to do is have a dream and believe in it. My mom always told me years ago, you don't really have to have a whole lot of friends. All you gotta have are a few good friends in life, and that's all you really need. And you have to have one dream, and you have to achieve it. My mom taught school for years, so she knew what she was talking about. And I support that. I support anybody out there that has a dream, no matter how unrealistic or unachievable that dream may seem. Let me tell you guys something. Every dream out there, no matter what critics tell you, no matter what people in your own life that you encounter every day on the school bus and school tell you, every dream is possible. All you have to do is take a chance on whatever dream it is you have and believe in yourself. And that's all I ever want you to run away with from this YouTube channel. So what do you say we all go spread some kindness, we all go watch some Descendants and Zombies, and get ready for what's going to be an amazing summer with this Worlds Collide Tour. I hope you guys got tickets, and I hope you guys are going to it, and I hope you guys vote me in as President of the United States. Man, we got a lot of stuff happening on this YouTube channel. I got to write a presidential speech. And the funny thing is, the only thing I've ever ran for in my life is student council, and I didn't win that. That was back in grade 8. Man, I got a lot of stuff to do because my fan base and my popularity is rising. Hit the subscribe button. I gotta bolt it. I gotta go vampire hunting, write my presidential election speech. Oh, man. Guys, I love you guys to death. Thank you so much for the support and the love you have given this YouTube channel. I'll see you fighting vampires. I'll see you after the graveyard shift tonight in a couple of days. If I survive the graveyard shift, I don't know what's going to happen out there. That's why I got to kind of take it one day at a time. Hit the subscribe button. Give me a couple of likes. Let's go spread some kindness. Bye, YouTube. We will do it again in a couple of days.